Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's just dive right into it. We need to talk about the hidden reality of how artificial intelligence is entering your business literally right now. It is moving way faster than most governance programs are actually prepared to handle, and it's fundamentally changing the entire risk landscape. And look, we aren't just talking about abstract future risks here, we are talking about your operational reality today. So ask yourself this: do you actually know where AI lives in your business? It's a super simple question, right? But for most executives, if we're being completely honest, the answer is no. It's showing up in your vendor platforms, it's in customer support workflows, software development, HR systems, you name it. So you really have to ask yourself, are you governing your AI, or is it kind of governing you? We all like to think our AI setup is like this impenetrable fortress, strictly controlled, centrally managed, rigorously tested. But the operational reality out there is far messier. AI is quietly embedding itself everywhere. It's sneaking in through the back door via SaaS vendors, integrations, plugins, and third-party dependencies. It's honestly a bit like a modern-day Trojan horse. All right, moving into section 1, the hidden AI problem and why you simply cannot govern a black box. Let's see why traditional methods are really struggling to keep pace here. So traditional governance, risk, and compliance, our standard GRC processes, they basically treat AI like a total black box, and that creates a massive visibility gap. Most organizations are trying to govern AI with, acceptable use policies, basic questionnaires, and committee reviews. And yeah, those are necessary for sure, but they just aren't enough anymore. Relying solely on a written policy leaves us with huge unmanaged supply chain risks because, well, you simply cannot govern what you cannot see. You can't assess what you can't trace, and you definitely cannot audit what you can't evidence. Which brings us to Section 2, introducing the AIBOM, and how we move from policy to actual evidence. This is where we break open that black box. Enter the AI Bill of Materials, or AIBOM. You know how a software bill of materials tells you exactly what components are inside your software? Well, an AIBOM is this absolutely crucial emerging governance concept that breaks down exactly what components exist inside the AI systems you rely on. Think of it as a structured inventory of the components, the data, and the attributes that make up an AI system. It essentially takes AI from this fuzzy, abstract concept and turns it into a tangible, auditable asset. So what's actually inside this thing? Well, we're talking about the exact model name, the version, the provider. It tracks your training data sources, third-party software dependencies, connected APIs, plugins, security controls, and even governance metadata like ownership and approval status. It's a concise, component-level breakdown of your exact risk exposure without getting totally bogged down in the weeds. Because the goal here isn't just to create more paperwork, right? The goal is better, clearer business visibility. Okay, let's pivot to Section 3. Managing third-party AI risk and the procurement supply chain. Because a lot of you are going to consume AI through vendors, not build it from scratch. Think about your typical vendor questionnaire. It usually just asks, hey, do you use AI? And is it secure? And we just accept these basic yes or no answers. But an AI bomb-driven review, that demands specifics. It asks, what specific model are you using? What exact data is being processed? Who are the third-party subprocessors? This completely shifts your vendor risk management from vague general claims to genuine component-level transparency. There's a great point made in the source material here. The risk is not only that AI exists, the risk is that AI exists without a reliable system of record. Think about that. Without a reliable system of record, your procurement team might approve a vendor today without even knowing they rely on an unverified open source model or that they're casually passing your customer data over to some insecure subprocessor. You absolutely need that system of record to make defensible business decisions. All right, Section 4, beware of silent drift. This is the unseen evolution of AI, and honestly, it's the stuff that keeps risk executives up at night. Because here's the thing, your biggest operational risk isn't necessarily unauthorized shadow AI. Often, the terrifying reality is actually approved AI that is quietly evolving right under your nose. Let's say in month 1, an AI tool is reviewed and approved for low-risk internal summarization. Totally fine. But by month 3, a developer decides to tweak the retrieval logic and throws in a plugin to make it more useful. Fast forward to month 6, and that system has been quietly connected to live customer records and automated routing features. That month 6 system is now a high-risk liability. It completely invalidates the original month 1 risk assessment, and it happened entirely without a new review. That is silent drift. So how do we actually stop this from happening? Well, you establish a point-in-time baseline using an AI bomb. When you document the AI components right at the time of approval, you can instantly compare what was originally approved against what is currently running in production. If a vendor swaps their model or a developer hooks up a new API, the AIBOM baseline makes those unauthorized changes immediately visible, so you can jump in and reassess the risk. And that takes us to our final section, Section 5, Defensible Risk Management, focusing on audit readiness and evidence. Because eventually, the regulators are going to come knocking. When you map these AIBOM components directly to executive value, you completely transform your AI governance from just, good intentions on a policy document into a hardcore, evidence-backed operating model. Tracking the exact model version and provider gives you undeniable audit evidence and traceability. Tracking your training data sources ensures your privacy and IP defense are actually intact. And knowing exactly what connected APIs you have, that's absolutely vital for vulnerability management. Executives don't necessarily need to know every single line of code, but they absolutely need this level of reliable risk visibility. And look, you absolutely do not have to boil the ocean to get there. The source lays out this highly practical 90-day plan. Step 1, just establish a baseline inventory, starting specifically with your high-risk AI. Step 2, add these AIBOM fields into your existing vendor risk reviews and questionnaires. Just bake it into the process. Step 3, connect this newly acquired AIBOM data to your control testing and executive reporting. Just 3 steps. It's a pragmatic way to rapidly build your defensibility without totally overwhelming your business units. Let's take a second to reflect on this quote. AI governance will not be judged by how polished the policy is. It will be judged by whether the organization can prove that governance is actually working. At the end of the day, executives know the score. Auditors, customers, regulators, they demand proof, not just promises. Having a nicely formatted policy document isn't proof. Having a continuous, operational chain of evidence is what's mandatory. So I want to leave you with this final kind of provocative thought as we wrap up this explainer today. As AI continues to embed itself deeper and deeper into your business processes and your vendor supply chains, when the regulator or the auditor inevitably demands a defensible audit trail of your AI systems, what will you show them? Are you going to hand them a generic policy, or are you going to hand them an operationalized AI bill of materials?